Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609. I'm just leaving Brewer's gas station and deli here in Capitan, New Mexico on a beautiful day. Shows to be about 58 degrees, no wind, partly cloudy skies, and that's the weather. But what we're going to talk about, guys, is the adventure continues. And just remember that you do you and I do me, and everyone is in charge of their own life. Okay? But be that as it may, the iPhone 13 Pro has been sent back to Apple. Why? Well, because for me, it did not work. For others, I'm sure it's a great phone. It does do great videos and it does do a lot of great stuff. However, for me, it did not work, and here's why. To upload a video, particularly like Comment Call, as you know, as you found out yesterday, some of you, it took 5.5 hours, all right, for a 20-minute video. And I thought, well, that's kind of slow, and it's amazingly so. So I called just to show you how thorough I am. Before I called, I did like 8 videos of different lengths, anywhere from 1 minute to 12 minutes, and then tried to upload them to YouTube. And without exception, it didn't matter how long the video was, the uploads were extremely slow from the iPhone 13 Pro. Kind of a poem there, right? But, so what I did then was I got in a chat room with Visible Wireless, and I also first of all, I called technical support at Apple and got to level 2 or 3, whatever it was. They moved me up because they couldn't solve the issue, and I let the engineer, whoever it was, have access to the iPhone 13 Pro. They can do that remotely and go to settings and do stuff, you know what I mean? But while I was talking with him, I'm in a chat room with Visible Wireless, and I'm above the first level. I'm at the second level of their technical support. So I had what I thought were very qualified people to help me resolve the issue. The technical support from Apple basically said that it's something to do with the data speeds on to Visible Wireless, and I asked that in the chat room. They said that ain't the problem. No, it's the way the device is configuring the video to ship it up to YouTube was their best guess. I don't know. All I know is I have the settings on the iPhone, or had the settings on the iPhone at HD, 30 frames per second, exactly the same as the Pixel 4a, and the Pixel 4a would upload a video to YouTube in about 25 minutes. That's a 20-minute video, the comment call video I do every morning. And I've been doing it for over 2 years or a year and a half with that phone. Works great, and I've used LGs that cost $50, did the same thing. So it's something to do in the hardware or software on the Apple phone, and that was kind of where we ended up on that. But I also found out a few other things, and well, it's several things actually. OIS, optical image stabilization, does not do anything for stabilizing a driving or walking a video. It's good for taking still photos mainly. That's what it works with. EIS, electronic image stabilization, works to improve videos, like driving videos or whatever. I don't have electronic image stabilization in my Pixel 4a. I've got optical, and that's why you see a little shakiness in the video occasionally if I'm on a really rough road. And they do make a few phones that have EIS. I'm checking on that now, but I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to move ahead. But for me to have the Apple iPhone based on the usage, my usage, I don't do gaming, and that's what it's really designed for, is young people that do games on their smartphone or listen to music or have a lot of apps open at the same time, which I don't. And so for me to have an Apple iPhone 13 Pro would be like a dump truck hauling a spoonful of dirt. You see what I mean? You're just not utilizing much of the capacity of the thing. Okay. Also, you know, when you sign in with YouTube, or excuse me, Apple, you're automatically hooked up with iCloud, and getting unhooked from iCloud is not the simplest thing you've ever done. I found out. That was another thing. I'll get to that again maybe in a minute. Also, if you're using, and it happens automatically, you don't even know it, it's called autofill. In other words, let's say you go to a site and it asks you for your, say you go to Apple and it asks you to fill in your username and password. It may not work, okay, or at least it didn't for me. And come to find out, it wouldn't work because of the autofill. Okay, you had to actually manually type in your username and your password for Apple to accept it. So that was a little interesting thing. And another thing that really, I don't know, I was really disappointed in, and I didn't know it till after I got the phone, was you cannot, well, I was aware of it, and I thought, well, hell, I can just live through that. I'll just pick my nose and blow my nose and fart or whatever and just keep going. Well, that's not really, you know, I don't like to do that. So, you know, but there's no pause. You cannot pause a video on an iPhone 13 Pro. Now, I understand that you cannot pause a video on any iPhone. I could be incorrect there, but I know you cannot do it on the Apple iPhone 13 Pro. You can use a third-party app, or there are some other things you can do so that will enable you to kind of pause the app. That's not good, Apple. Come on. You know, a $50 LG phone has a pause button. Here's another one. Updates. You know, they do updates on the Apple phone occasionally. In fact, my phone, what got this started was the guy was looking at the phone and he said, you need to update your phone. I said, well, let's do it right now. Well, it wouldn't do the update. And so he got to checking, and he couldn't figure out how to get the thing to do the update either. You know, he was trying to get it to do it. I was trying to get it to do it. And you know, it says to, you know, continue, just press this little continue thing and it would do the update. Well, I'm 2 updates out. So anyway, he couldn't do it, I couldn't do it. And finally, he said, how is your modem set up? And I said, well, I don't have a modem. I'm using a hotspot from a Pixel 3a phone. Oh, that's the problem right there. I said, what's the problem with that? I've been doing it for 10 years. And he said, well, you can't do uploads on the iPhone using a hotspot. You have to use a certain type of Wi-Fi. And I said, well, hell, I don't have that here. You know, I don't even know what you're talking about anyway. You know, he said, well, you can't use a hotspot for the updates. So if you have the auto update feature on the Apple 13 phone and you're using your hotspot as your, quote, sort of a modem or your connection to the internet, then you may or may not be able to receive your Apple iPhone updates, okay? So that was kind of a downer. So you see all these things. The big plus was, I'm pulling over to let a car pass because he looks like he's in a hurry. But anyway, the big plus for the phone was that it was smooth, it was pretty to look at, all that, you know, had a lot of features that were nice and stuff. But you know, the downside here that I've just enumerated overwhelmed the deal. Now, what the iPhone engineer also suggested was, you know, he said, well, just take it to an Apple store. Sure, we have a lot of Apple stores here in Capitan, New Mexico, population 1,600. We got a number of them, as in 0, you know what I mean? And I think the nearest one that he found was in Albuquerque. That's 150 miles or whatever it is one way. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Every time I have a problem, I'm going to drive 300 miles round trip. Or he said you could take it to the Verizon store and they might be able to address the issue that you're having. So with that in mind, what you're looking at now is the Pixel 4a, and that's the way it's going to be for many a day. Is that a little poem there? But so having said that, guys, just remember, to do, you can look at ratings and hear other people's opinions and all the other stuff, but sooner or later you got to make up your own mind. Is this thing gonna? And I'm the type of guy that it's either fish or cut bait. You know what I mean? If the thing works, I'm in. If it doesn't work, I'm out. It's that simple. Light switches on, light switches off. You don't want to be in the middle. You know what I mean? Where it kind of works, and all you got to do is go to the Apple store about 3 times a month, and all you got to do is go to the library or somewhere to do your updates maybe 2 or 3 times a month. That's kind of, that's the in-between switch, and I ain't doing that. So anyway, this is the road going to Carrizozo. It's Highway 380, and we're just cruising and talking. But yeah, something else I'll mention, just to show you, like this deal fell through. I sent the stuff back. I also canceled the iPad because the whole thing was to do the Apple products and have them interconnected and kind of use them seamlessly or whatever they say you can do. Even though I don't use many of the features, I thought, well, it'd be nice. So anyway, I've canceled everything with Apple. Apple Man became Apple Core Man in 2 days. Well, actually a day and a half. So yeah, but that's the way I do things, folks. And if you do things slowly, let's see if we can do this, and let's keep checking this, and let's check some more settings, and Bill says, or try this, stand on your head and run around naked. You can do all that stuff if you want to, and you'll only end up being pulled apart. The switch is on or the switch is off. In between is hell. It's like being kind of in love. Well, there's no such, you either in or out. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. Enough said about that. I don't mean to dwell on that, but the adventure continues. And just to show you how things change and have changed for me, and I know you're aware of it, but I'll remind you, I was going to build a tiny home, right? 300 square feet. Had some people come by and told me, yep, we'll do it. We'll build it for you, no problem. You need to get approval from the city. You need a set of plans. You need a survey. So what do? I contact a surveyor. I ordered a set of plans over the internet. It was only $30, but it was all I needed to show the city. And I don't know. I was going to try to let this guy pass, but I don't think he is. But anyway, so I got the plans. I called the surveyor. He never showed up. Okay, it's been going on 3 weeks now. Never showed up. All right, so that's how things work out, guys. So not building a tiny home saved me, I don't know, round numbers, at least $40,000. At least that, probably. Yeah, so say $40,000 for an easy number. And then I was also going to buy a Nissan. I was thinking about getting a Nissan Leaf and taking advantage of the $7,500 tax rebate. Okay, well, guess what? Nobody's got a Nissan Leaf. And the ones that do have them, mark them up by as much as $2,000. Am I going to pay a dealer $2,000 over MSRP? No. In fact, I told one dealer, I said, look, if you've got one or can get one, call me back with a price. But if you're going to add a $2,000 bump to it, or increase, don't even bother calling. Well, guess what? Nobody's calling. You understand? They ain't gonna sell it to me unless they can make that $2,000. So that's another $35,000 saved. So 40, 35, that's $75,000 plus the Apple stuff. Even though I wouldn't have spent that in cash, I'd have financed some of that shit in there. But the car probably, because here's something I'll tell you about financing cars. Right now you can finance a car for about depending, if you use the dealer financing, it's about 1%. If you use some outside financing, it may be 2%. But inflation right now is running about 6 to 8% in the United States. So if you buy something that appreciates, you're in. You can borrow money at 1% all day long and turn around and sell it and make a profit. You understand? And believe me, there's people doing that right now as we speak. Now, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying it could be done, okay? Now, you may buy something that you get stuck with, too. Always remember that. But be that as it may, it is a nice day here going towards Carrizozo. The temperature's already gone up like 5 degrees because we go down about 5,000 feet going to Carrizozo. But it's just a pretty drive, and I enjoy it, so that's why we're doing it. There's another pretty drive. I can turn left here and go towards Alto. but I'd have to let the video go for about 2 days to make that trip. So the Apple man faded quick. You know, he didn't make the cut. And you know, but the phone is great. I'm telling you, man. I'm not knocking the phone. The phone, if for anybody else, if you don't do YouTube videos, and you know a lot about phones and stuff and how to do them and things, then hell yeah, you know, an iPhone is a hell of a device. I sincerely would recommend the iPhone Pro. It's a super device. And if you live in an iPhone store, if you live inside the store, then I would highly recommend it. If you live in the store, I would highly recommend it. And also probably some of the other phones are the same way. You know, if you have an issue, you got to go to somewhere, you know, that you don't want to go. Anyway, but just curious, just to point this out, there's a car that when I pulled back on the road, I'd gone about a half a mile. They come racing up on me real fast, got right on my bumper, and I drove slowly hoping that they would pass, but now they've almost stopped in the highway, you know. So anyway, I'm going to let them go here, but they won't pass even now. No, never mind, I ain't going to say it, because it's probably some old lady that, you know, that, I hear you. I mean, I'll get there. But this is pretty right in here. This is the Carrizozo flat desert land here. And believe me, you've got a beautiful 360-degree view and some beautiful sunrises and sunsets. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, things change, you change, I change, and that's the way it is. And Apple, adios amigo. It's been a nice visit, but bye-bye. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Buy anything you want. Use the Amazon link, drink plenty of water, keep your health. And if you want to buy an Apple product, I would recommend it if you don't do YouTube videos. And if you don't live near an Apple store. Adios, bye-bye.